Therefore, Imam al-Sadiq was asked, who are the Ulil Amr? He said, Ali and Hassan and Hussein. Listen, they said to him, but Imam, why is there not mentioned them clearly in this ayah? He said, Allah told us to pray salah, but never told us if it was 3 or 4 rak'ah. Allah told us to pay zakat, but never said how much. Allah told us to do tawaf, but never said how many times in the Quran. You're asking me, everything should be in Quran? Hajj, I do tawaf 7 times. Show me an ayah that says 7, oh Quranist only people. And someone says zakat is 2.5% or 1/40th. I say, show me an ayah that says next year pay 1/40.
So, I'll give a brief one on that. So, Aslan, the ayah of Ulul Amr, as we've established, is nothing to do with about the Imams and the concept of Imama as the Shia claim. So, that's just an irrelevant point in the first place. Second of all, as regards to the point of the number of rakat, percentage of zakat, you know, the number of tawaf, etc., number of tawaf in Hajj and stuff, all of this is nothing to do with it being in the Quran or not. This is something that's been transmitted in tawatur amali by the ummah. No one does these things because there's a hadith in a book. This is transmitted by the ummah, by the amal of tawatur. These things are not clarified because, oh, the Quran's missed it, so therefore now, how do you do these things? Everyone knows these things because it's come as a practical tawatur that the Muslims have recognized generation after generation. It's undeniable, like the amal of al-Madinah on Sadr. We understand that concept there, don't we? We like using that there, now use it. So now understand this here as well. It's the practical amal that everyone understands. So using that point is irrelevant to this whole point that, oh, you know, you like to use it, you like to mention that it's not in the Quran, but the tawatur is there, so we don't need it. Said, anything you want to add to that? I don't think there's anything more to add to that.
Yeah, basically, the argument that he's trying to make is that as far as the Ulil Amr are concerned, they need to be designated by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he's stating that Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said that Imam Ali alayhi salam was Ulil Amr and Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Well, we don't deny Imam Ali alayhi salam in the lifetime of the Holy Prophet was appointed as a leader of expeditions, military expeditions. He was appointed a judge during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was sent as the leader of the mission to Yemen. We don't deny any of that, right? But he was not the only one. Ulil Amr is a broad term. Anyone that is vested with power and authority by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is among the Ulil Amr. And so if you look at the seerah of the Prophet, you will see that there were all kinds of people who are appointed to the position of Ulil Amr. And so that's at the first level. At the second level, a very common argument that's often made by traditional Imami 12er Shias is that when you ask them for proof of this Imama or 12 Imams from the Quran, they immediately bring in Salah and number of rak'at is not mentioned, Zakat percentage is not mentioned, details of fasting is not mentioned. Why are you comparing apples and oranges? You are comparing Imama, which is, you are claiming something that is part of the belief system, and Aqidah, you are claiming it to
Aqidah, not only Aqidah, Asl min al-Asul ad-Din.
Asl min al-Asul ad-Din.
Yeah, you're saying it's next to Tawhid and Nabuwah. You're putting it there. Yeah.
Exactly. You are claiming it as part of the belief system. Okay. So it's not just a number of rak'at and details of fiqh. Okay. These are not the core of Islam. These are not the core part of the Aqidah. Right. So if you're gonna, it depends what you are claiming. If you're gonna put Imama in the same list as Tawheed, in the same list as Risala, in the same list as Ma'ad, then I want the same kind of evidence for it that exists for Ma'ad and for Tawheed and for Risala. If you're going to put Imama and Wilaya in the list of the nitty-gritties of fiqh, which are not part of, the requirement of Iman and requirement of Aqidah and being a Muslim and Mu'min, then I might relax the standard a little bit. But
even
first, tell me, what are you claiming?
But even the examples they're bringing, those examples that they're asking for, how about Salah, how about Tawaf, how about Zakat, these things have been transmitted by Tawatur in the Ummah.
Exactly.
Imama hasn't. Imama hasn't. And the narration he's quoting about Imam Sadiq and saying that, again, anyone who studied the Imami Turath will know that actually in our own Turath, Imama is a secret. Imama is a secret with no 12 Imams names transmitted. In fact, the close companions, as you've just showed, didn't know who the Imams were. And the closest companions weren't aware. The own Prophet's family wasn't aware, like Imam Zayd wasn't aware of Imamah. So this is a closely transmitted secret with these special people, apparently, where the close companions don't know and the family members don't know. So therefore, to compare this and say, oh, well, you know, look at the Imams, then quote one hadith of Imam Sadiq, again, you have to match it with historical realities. And with historical realities, it's not matching up.